Let us try to solve the exercise number 5 in the part B of Advanced Java Lab. In this particular exercise, we are supposed to create a servlet program to perform insert, update, view operations on an employee table. And the structure of the employee table is given like this. And some sample outputs are being shown there. So we are supposed to create a servlet-based program. I'm going to use the older version of NetBeans, that is the 8.1 version of the NetBeans. Let me start the new project. So I'm going to click on the file and new project. And I'm going to select the Java web application as my project. And I'm going to select the web application. And you can give any name to your application. I'm going to say employee management. You can give a short name also. This will be my project. And let me click next. And you can select any of the server. Either you can select the Glassfish or Tomcat. I prefer the Glassfish. So you can always go for this one, because anyhow you will not be doing the deployment manually. So since the NetBeans is doing it on its own, so there is no much of a fun in changing the server. Let's click on next, and I'm not going to use any of this framework. Let me click finish to finish it off. NetBeans will create a project, and in this project you are going to see a web page, that is the index.html, and that is being shown over here. Okay. And I'm going to put a title here, and the first one I'm going to do is add employee. This will be the title. The structure that they have given is this table. So we are supposed to create this particular table first. And let's go ahead and let's do the remaining part later. Now, how do we create a table? There are, you can create a table in a different databases. However, I prefer to use a database called as a Derby, which you may not be aware of. This is the default database that comes with the Java, and it is being used in many situations. And it comes pre-bundled with the NetBeans, so I prefer to use that. So let's go ahead and let's look at where we can get it. So in order to look at the database, you have to click on this services. So if you click on service, again, if the services is not visible, click on window, and somewhere you see these services, and you can see the services. And here you will see this Java DB, that is the Derby database. You can also connect to MySQL server. Suppose if you are using XAMPP or any other PHP based tool, and if you have a MariaDB or MySQL installed on those machines, you can always connect to those machines and then do it. Option is very simple. You just say connect and then specify the details. Suppose if you want to connect to the MySQL. Okay, now I'm going to get a message saying there is no database that is running, because I said to connect to the database, but it should be running. Okay, so if you have the XAMPP installed on your machine, start the XAMPP and start the MySQL on that or MariaDB on that, and then try to connect it. Okay, so this is not going to come for free. You have to have it, or in other words, it's not going to be installed. This MySQL is not directly installed along with the NetBeans. You have to install it separately. Either the direct installation of MySQL, or the general preference is you already have the PHP with you, so you can get the MySQL from there. Now I'm going to use this one, not the MySQL. I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to right click on it and then say start the server. Now generally the server will be started. For some reason it has stopped, but if it is there, okay, so you have the server is running. And let's go ahead and let's look at the databases here, and I'm going to say create a table here. Okay, the database has already started, and let me create a database. And let's give a name as employee DB. I hope that name is not there. Yeah, employee DB. As usual, you see if you just click on the plus sign over here, you can see the already existing database. If the database is already there, don't try to create a, you know very well, don't try to create a database which name that is already there. Just change the name. So you can just click on this plus sign here, and it's going to become minus. So you can expand. In other words, you can expand and see whether that database already exists. And I'm going to give the name as my name. And password, I'm going to give, don't give a very complicated password. I'm going to give ABCD1234 as my password. I'm going to type the same thing, ABCD1234. And generally, you try to use the same type of password, whether for you or for others, like ABCD1234. When developing, not when in real life, when developing, you give a common password so that if other students are occupying your machine, they know that by default almost everybody is using the same password, like welcome at 123 or ABCD1234, a kind of password. So anybody can get to the database in case they want to use it. So that's the reason. Anyhow, you can you are free to type your own password, but I say that don't type a very lengthy password, and don't type your personal password, because you are going to show that password to your friends in the code. So with that said, let's come back to the services again. And when the database is created, you notice that it is saying that employee DB is getting created. When it is created, you will see an additional option over here. You can see there EDB one option is there, S1 one option is there, sample one option is there. In the same way, you see that employee DB, the one that you have just done, this is actually the connection. The in your the JDBC, you said this connection string. This is actually that connection string that it is creating. Now you notice over here, it is not connected now. You can see it is broken. That means you have created the connection string is there, but you are not connected to the database. How do you get connected? Right click on here and then say connect. Okay, so that's simple as that. Whichever the database that you want to use it, just right click on it and then say connect. Okay, so all of them, if you notice, all of them are not connected, because you see that there is a broken icon there saying that it is not connected. So I'm going to say right click and then say connect. Okay, and once it is connected, if you look at here, you will now notice the difference. The other three are not connected, but this one is connected. So it is now connected to your database. If you click on this plus sign over here, you notice that it has created a workspace for me with the same name as what I'm using. And if you click on the plus sign over here, you see the table. If you click on this plus sign, you will notice that there is no table is there, only database is created. And now it is a time to create a database. So how do you create a table? How do you create a table is you right click on it and then say create a table. Okay, this is the general way. However, for this particular exercise, it's not going to work. Okay, for some reason, this option, I'm going to just show you this one, create table, how it's going to look like. In this create table, you are supposed to write the name of the table, like table 1 or anything, table 1. And you are supposed to add a column. And for example, e-name. I'm just, this is not the one. I'm going to just cancel it after this. For you, I'm just showing it that it is possible. And then say it is varchar or something like that, and you say 25, whether you say it is primary key or something of that type, and then click OK. In the same way, you add one more column or remove the column, and finally click OK to create it. However, there is one minor problem that you will encounter in this particular exercise, and that is, let me cancel it out, and let me go to the question, and let me tell you what is it. Now this is the sample that they have given. So add employee. When you add the employee, you notice that there is employee name, there is a password, there is this password, there is e-name, and so on. So you are going to add a name, password, email, country. However, you notice that there is this primary key, that is ID, which is auto generated. So this one you are not adding, but it has to be generated automatically by the database. And that is where the things are going bad. Why I'm not using this option is, suppose if I want to add one more column, I'm going to just say add a column. In this dialog box, you don't have any option for auto incrementing a particular uh, field or a particular column. So you can't change the value automatically. So that is the reason I am not going to use this option. Okay? Even though it's a very simple option, you are not so lucky to have that option. You have to manually create it because that particular auto increment story is not available in that dialog box. So what is the solution next then? The solution is you have to manually write the SQL command. So how do you write the SQL command? You can anywhere you can click on, either you can click on this or you can click on this and right click and say execute command. Whether you click on this one and then say where is this table and then execute command, or whether you go here, where is it gone, and say execute command, it is one and the same. You're going to end up in the same place where, like your Oracle, you are going to end up in a place wherein you are supposed to type a table on your own. So you are not left with the choice. So let's try to create a table. I'm going to create create a table. And what is the name of the table? So create a table, and let's look at what is the name, that employee. So that's the name that they have given, employee. Okay, and let me go up to here, and this is like Oracle. Okay, so you have what are the things which are there. So remember, it starts with the name here, but I need this ID. So I'm going to start with the ID. Okay, I'm going to take this one as integer. Okay, you can take it something else also, integer. And you may say that this is primary key. Okay, there is no need to type this as primary key or integer as in capitals. So you don't need to type like this. Okay, it is not case sensitive. Okay, this one is also integer, small case is also integer, mixed case is also integer. It's not going to, most of the database doesn't care about the capitalization or small case. They don't differentiate between these capitals and small case. However, Java does do it, but this part has nothing to do with the Java. This is the database. Okay, so you say primary key, that is done. Then you have to say how it is generated. So you are going to say, let me move the mouse pointer there, generated. Okay, always AWA, what is the spelling? AW, always. Okay, that's spelling. Always as identity. Okay, you have to write like this, and then say it is starting at 1, no colon or anything. Start at 1 and then increment by 1. Put space there. Okay, this is the one column. Okay, generally you would have written, there is the mouse pointer gone. Okay, generally you would have written like this, ID integer or ID number and then primary key, but extra thing is required. And maybe if you want, you can write also not null. Remember, not null, when you say it is a primary key, it is assumed that it is not null. Okay, let's go with the next one. What you have next is, so this part you just remember for your examination, generated always as identity, start 1, increment 1. So this is, you have to remember this one. There is no choice. You have to remember this during the examination. So let's go ahead with the other part. Then you have name, password, email, country. So I'm going to go with the next part very quickly. I am going to use e-name. The reason is the name in general is reserved. Okay, So when you write this name, what is this name like this? Name is usually reserved. Name of the table, name of the database, name of the view. Name is a reserved attribute in most of the databases. So I'm going to just change this one as ename. So what will happen if you put the name? Nothing is going to happen, but you have to put it in double quotes when you make that as name, because you will confuse the database whether that is a attribute name or your table field name. Okay, so then you have this varchar. Let me say, I will use the capital varchar typing, and I'm going to say name is 25. Anyhow, during the examination, I don't think so you will type more than 25. Then I'm going to just copy this one, Control C and Control V. And this one is password. There is no problem. This part is there is no problem. And next, I'm going to put email. Again, I am going to assume that email will be of 25 characters. Now, if you say that no, email may be greater than that, you do it. But during the examination, you will realize that this option is far better, because you have to just change the field name here. And the last one is the country. Okay. So this you have the name, password, email, country. 4 fields are there. Okay. Let me do this one. Assume that I have not made any mistake, and I'm going to select this whole thing. And like your Oracle, you have this one, run SQL. At this point, you see an option for run SQL. So just just click on this, and you have the problem syntax error. Start STA. What is the spelling? STA. Sorry, I think I thought. Increment then is also, I don't know the spelling. I have to learn English now. Increment, let me run it and let's see whether I get an error. In that case, I will learn English. Okay. Encountered at start one, and what is this? Oh, sorry. You can't just say start one. Start with, you have to say start with. This is this thing you have to remember. Okay, why I am struggling is I written that thing in a paper and I am typing it. Okay, because I too didn't know that this story is there. You have to be very frank. Okay, so start with one. Sorry, start with one and increment by one. So this you have to write it and then run it, and again you have some problem. And what is the problem is unexpected at the line number 7. Okay, sorry. Sometimes you make a copy paste mistake, and I think it is good that it happened. And you notice what is the problem here is the problem there. You have a comma there because I copy pasted it. That comma also came there. Sorry. So with all corrections, let's give it a try. And oh my God, the database is that particular table is created. So let's go to the services here, and you notice that under this money, this table is created. If you click on this plus sign, all are there. Okay, so you created it. That is the table that you are supposed to create it. As simple as that. Now let's come back to the HTML part. So I'm going to just click on this one. Suppose if you have closed this by some means, you can go to the project and just double click on it, and it will start over here. And again, when you try to double click, it is the icon that you double click, not the text. Some people have a bad habit of clicking on the text here. If you try to double click, it will think that you want to rename that. If you double click on the icon, it means you want to open it. Okay, so there is a small difference. You must understand that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's start with the story that they have given us. What is the story that they have given is you have to have a add employee as a H1 tag. So I'm going to just remove this one, and I'm going to say H1, and I'm going to say add employee. So that is the one. Then because you're going to submit this employee form, so I want this thing to be inside this form. So I'm going to say form. Okay, I'm going to say form and form. Okay, the form has the method. One method is the attribute. One attribute is the method, and this method is post. And the other one attribute that is required is the action, and the action I'm going to talk about it slightly later. Let me keep that pending. So two attributes are there. One is the method and other one is the action. And I will build the method. I know that it is post, and the action I really don't know, because I'm going to tell you that thing later. So this one that you have noticed over here, I will use the table. So you may say that using table is bad in and we are supposed to use CSS. You are free to use CSS, but I'm going to use the table because I'm used to this is the one that you are going to get it very quickly. Okay. And table has, very well, rows are there in the table, and the rows contains column, and the first column is according to them is name. So I'm going to type the first column is name, followed by a text box in the second column. So in the second column, if you notice, so first column you have this name, and in the second column you have the text box, as simple as that. So let's create a text box there. How do you create a text box? You're going to say input, the type is equal to text. Where is that gone? Okay, type is equal to text. I'm going to use the name. Remember, we are not going to use the ID. ID is used for CSS, name is for us. So I'm going to use ename as my option. You can use the other one, ename, just to avoid the confusion. Okay, that is for the first part. So you have the name and you have the text box. Let's start with the password and password. I'm a bit lazy here. I'm going to just select this one, row, Control C, and press enter and Control V. So next one is password. Okay, the type is password. You know very well. Sorry. Type is password, and name is also password. Get done. Again, I'm going to go and press enter and Control V. Next one is email. So this part is over. Next one is email. So let me go ahead and where is this one? Email. Okay, and this one is also email. Where is this email? Okay, and I'm going to give the name also as email. Let me copy paste the next one. Next one is what is the next thing? Is the country. So country is this country, and in this country, now I'm going to just delete this one. In this country, what you have to get is the drop down. So here you have to get a drop down list. So how do you get the drop down list? What is the syntax? Suppose if you forget during the examination, just now if you forget it, just go to this window here and you have an option for pellets. Okay, so under window you have an option for getting pellets. Suppose if you forget, don't worry about it, just go here and go for pellets. Okay, under this pellet you have an option for many things. Okay, this one is the drop down list. Suppose if you forget, just drag that drop down list and leave it here. Okay, it's going to tell you what is the name. The name of it is country, definitely. Okay, option 1 to whatever it is, just click OK. Okay, give a name as the country. Even if you don't click it, you can give it later. So this is how you're going to create the option, select and select. So during the examination, it may so happen that you may forget some of the HTML syntaxes altogether because you are tensed. There is a chance that you may forget it. Okay, so in that case, just use this palette, and you can get the help on it doesn't have all of them, but the common one, if you just miss out whether that select was first, option was first or next, and so on, just use them and you are good to go. Now let's go ahead with the next part, and that is the country. I'm going to use the first country as India. Second country, let's go to the northeast. We have this Nepal. And let's go to the next one. We have China here. Okay, so and let's go to our neighbor Sri Lanka. Okay, that's enough. I am not going to type many things. Don't type too many things, because you will understand if you watch this video, you will understand that typing here too many option over here will create a problem when you try to edit that entries. Okay. So with that being done, let me just run it. Okay, I'm going to right click and say run this file, just for the understanding how the things are working. So let's look at how the things are working. So you have the name, you have this password, you have this all and thing, and you have this country. All everything is there, but you don't have the submit button. So what to do? I'm going to just copy this one, Control C, one row from here. You know very well how to create tr to tr, one row, or else you can type it. Okay, if you don't know how to copy paste it, then type it on your own. So first option, I'm not going to type anything. If you look at here, in this one, it has come at the middle somewhere. You can merge them. Okay, I'm not going to do all those things. I will put a button next to it. You know how to merge the column. So if you want, you can say, how do you say? Column span is equal to 2. You can say that. Okay, and input type is a submit. Okay, name, if you want, you give a name for the submit, because I'm not going to use that name, but what I want is the next part, and that is the value. Value is whatever they have set. So they have set a lot of things. Save employee. Save employee. Okay, done. Okay, let's save it, and let me go here and refresh it to see whether I get it. Okay, somewhere it has not. Column span is 2. Okay, no, it has not done. It has not done that column span. If it has not done, let me put pd here, and let me remove that. If you want, you do it. Okay, this is all css. Too many things may not be of use. Okay, let me get it here only, so it is easier. It looks neat also. Done with this part. So with that being done, let's go ahead with the next part. Now, where do we go when you click on this submit or the save employee? Where am I supposed to go? I am supposed to go to a servlet. So where is that to servlet? Let's go and let's add the servlet. I'm going to go to this project. Again, if the project is not visible to you, just go to this window and select this project as an option. Okay. Again, as you are already aware, there are two parts in this particular thing. One part is for the HTML or CSS or JSP. The second part is for the Java. Servlet has to do with the Java, so don't mix them together. Okay, so this is for the Java part. You just click on this plus sign. This is for the Java part. Let's add these servlets. I'm going to right click on it and say I'm going to add a new servlet. That being done, give a name, and I'm going to say add employee, no spaces. Remember, this is a class name. And the package name, very, very important. If you don't put the package name, you get a warning saying that it is highly recommended that you don't save it without putting a package name. I'm going to use the package name as com for component, short form for component. That is com. If you want to write some other name, also you are free to use it. Let me click next, and I will add to the deployment descriptor, even though we don't care about web.xml. But let me add it for fun. Just add it. What is there? Now the first thing is when I click on this submit button, this save employee button, it has to come to this servlet. How do I say that? What is the name of this servlet? See, very, very important. This part is critically important. Whatever you have written here, you have to use the same kind of word with the same capitalization or small case. You use the same thing. You make a mess with this particular thing, you will end up in trouble. My personal advice is select this name the class followed by whatever name. Okay, select it, Control C to copy it. Windows always provides you with this option, Control C to copy. Come here to your HTML part, and you have this form. In this you wrote the action and just paste that name here. Now you are 100% sure that this word and the word which is here will match together. So let me save it, and let me just refresh this one. And if I click on this save, nothing is there, but I'm going to just save it. You will come to the servlet. You notice that you are in this servlet. You are in this servlet. Okay, done. Now, with that being done, this is the default message that the servlet is going to give you. But here we are supposed to save the content. Now, what are the things that you are passing? That's the first thing. You have to take all of them and then try to connect whatever is being passed from here. You take all of them and then save it to the database. So that is what you are supposed to do it. So let's first get all of the things which are being passed from the index.html page into our servlet. How do I get it? So in my servlet, if you notice in my servlet, the process request method here, this is not the method that is given by the servlet. There is two methods, which is doGet and doPost, and both of them are here hidden by the NetBeans. Whether you use this doGet or doPost, both of them will call the same method. This method is added by the NetBeans. This is the boilerplate code added by the NetBeans. And whether it is doGet or doPost, both of them will call this method. What is the advantage over here is you don't have to complicate your life by knowing all of them. So NetBeans will take care of the few required things. Let's go ahead and let's get the first one. First one is the string and ename. I'm going to use ename just to avoid the confusion. You can use the name as your choice. And how do you get it? You know very well, whatever you send to the servlet is the request. Whatever that you get from the servlet is the response. So this is request, and I'm going to say get the parameter. Get the parameter. What is the name of this particular parameter? Name of the parameter is the one that is the name that you have given here. Again, very critical. This time you have to be extremely careful. In your HTML, you gave the name. Whatever you have typed here should match in the other one. Otherwise, it will not accept that one as the parameter. Okay, so what is the easiest one? Double click on here, Control C to copy. Come here, Control V to paste. It's as simple as that. Now you are 100% sure that both the names are matching. Okay, let's go with the next part. I'm not going to type the whole thing again and again. I'm going to copy this, Control C and Control V. The second one is the password. Okay, but I'm not going to type the password here as it is. I will go back, even though it is a bit painful. Go to this HTML part, and in that, whatever name I have given, I'm going to select it. Double click, Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it here. Okay, again I'm going to select whole thing, Control C to copy, and I'm going to paste it 2 times now. One is for the country and the other one is for the email. So I'm just going to finish this one. This is email. Next one is the country. Okay, so I'm going to just try that thing. Okay, now these two has to change accordingly. So I'm going to go here to my HTML, double click on this email, Control C to copy and Control V to paste over here. Okay, next one is where is the next one? Is the what is this, country. So the name that I have given is country. Double click, Control C to copy it and Control V to paste it. So you got all the parameter. Now what is the next thing that you are going to do? You are going to connect to this database, and there's a database is here. You're going to connect to the database, and in the database you are going to insert into that particular database. So how do you do that particular thing? You know very well, you need to load the driver first. How do you load the driver? You say class, you say class class dot for name followed by the driver that you are supposed to use it. Now, which driver to be used? Suppose if you are getting confused, the driver you can get the details in the connection string. So go to the services here again. If the services is not visible, go to window and then click on the services. So go to this services, and in this services, you have this connection. Your connection is there. Employee DB is your connection. Right click on this and go to the properties. So right click on this thing which is connected, go to its properties, and in the properties you have a lot of things. And what are the lot of things that you see? This you are going to see driver class. What is the driver class that it is using? It is using org.apache.derby.jdbc client driver. This is the driver that it is using. So how do you copy this one? You see this three ellipses over here, small button with three ellipses, just click on it. When you click on, you get one more dialog box, and in this dialog box you see that whole thing. Select this one, Control C to copy it. Okay, so you select this, copy it, close it, it's done. Okay, and come here now and paste it. That is the driver. Okay, now only problem with the this one is it is now very well when you try to load a class may not be found, so you have to handle the exception. Okay, so this is this exception cannot be omitted. Okay, so if you look at the NetBeans here, in the NetBeans it's going to show you a small bulb and saying that there is something wrong with it. You just click on this bulb and it will give you a lot of options. The option that do you want to add the class not found exception. Now if you notice over here, the NetBeans has done some boilerplate code, and in this boilerplate code there is this try is already there, but there is no catch methods are there. I'm going to add, because try is already there, I'm going to append that catch method, very well, try catch, to handle the exception. So I'm going to go to this bulb and I'm going to click on this bulb and I'm going to say add this catch clause to this try only. There is this try is there now. So for this try, add the catch clause. Just click on this bulb and you will be shown in menu over here. Just click on add catch clause. Just click on it. When you click on it, you notice that if you go down, it has added the clause and it is going to log what it has done. So it's up to you. Whatever you want, action you want to take it. Again, you can't take any action if you don't find the driver. What action can you take it? Okay, so it's going to log that and say that class not found exception is done. So this is for the class. The story of class loading is over. Then what you want a connection. Once the driver is loaded, you want a connection. I'm going to type connection. If you don't want to type the whole thing, you just type CONN, control and space together. Type this thing. Okay, CTRL plus space bar. Type together. You will see this option, and in this option, let me cancel that. Okay, I press control space over here. That connection is for the SQL. Remember, not JMS. You are not familiar with any of them. I think except this registry, which I think not this registry, the other registry. Anyway, you are not familiar with assuming that you are not familiar with all these things. You are familiar with the java.sql connection. I want connection. Remember, this is not a class. This is an interface. Okay. So you see that symbol there, that is for interface. You see this symbol, that is a class. Okay. Let me double click on this connection, or you can type it. It's up to you. Connection. Okay. And I'm going to say CON. What did the NetBeans has done? Remember, when you double click on it, NetBeans has added an import statement saying that import java.sql.connection. This part is automatically added for you. You don't have to struggle here with the spelling and with all those things. NetBeans will do it for you. Okay, so that is the advantage of using AID. It will do the work. Simple housekeeping work is done. Okay, connection CON is equal to, how do you get it? You need this driver manager. I'm going to say driver MA and control space it. The NetBeans has completed it, and NetBeans will, if you look at here, did it added it? It has added because you know that this side is a SQL connection. It knows that driver manager is from the SQL.SQL, Java.SQL, and it has added driver manager, an import statement for you. So I just press Control space there, and then the things have been done. Okay, you can select it. Suppose if you have selected wrong thing, suppose I assume that there is this part is wrong, instead of SQL something additional, some different package is selected, so that is not the one that you know very well. Connection is for the SQL, the driver is for the SQL. But suppose if something else is selected here, then it means has got confused. Just delete this line here. So just remove this line. I'm going to just do it. Okay, assume that this is not the actual package, some other package it should have been selected. So I'm going to just delete it. Okay, now when I delete it, and okay, I go down here, I get an error saying that okay, I didn't get it. What is that? Cannot find this particular symbol. I press Control space here, and now you are given an option. Okay, are you talking about this one, driver manager? Okay, double click on here. It will do the same thing again and again. Manager is not required. Okay, again and again, it will add the thing over here. Okay, so it will do it for you. You don't need to bother about it. Suppose if it has done it in a wrong way, just delete it and go for the choice again. Okay, with that done, what is that we are supposed to? We are supposed to get the connection. Okay, so I'm going to go for the last one, wherein you are supposed to give the URL, you are supposed to give the username and password for this connection. Remember, the return of this get connection method will return a object of type connection, which is matching here. So let me press enter. I don't know what is the connection string, but I know who is the user. I typed the username as money when I created my database. I used money as my username, and the password I gave is ABCD 1234. That's the password I gave. So, but I don't know the connection string, the URL where I'm supposed to connect it. Where will I get it? Again, the same story goes here. Go to the services. Again, if the services is not available, go to the window and you get the services. Go to the service and go to the place where you have made the connection. This is the connection. Right click on it. Go to its properties. You are shown a dialog box, and you notice that the database URL, this is the connection string. This is what you wanted, not the name. Name will not make any difference in your life. What you want is the database URL. Again, you can copy it directly from here. Go to this ellipses. You can see this ellipses here in this one. You can see that button with the ellipses. So select that thing, click on it. You will be shown one more dialog box. Select this whole thing, Control C, select this whole thing. Okay, Control C to copy, close it, come back to the place. This is where I am supposed to paste it. So connection, I want the connection URL, just paste it. Your work is done. Okay, you will get a squiggly line because you have to handle an exception. Okay, this is a typed exception and you can't escape from the typed exception. So what is the problem? You can see here on the right hand side, the extreme side, you are going to see, this is my right or your left, anyway. So on one side, you are going to see a bulb here with the exclamation mark. Just click on it and it is going to say that do you want to add the throw exception. Now you know very well there is always SQL exception whenever you try to connect to a database. I'm going to say add the catch clause. Remember, it has already added one catch clause here, class not found. I'm going to say add one more by clicking on here, and I'm going to say add catch clause. When you do that, double click on it. Okay, it is done. You notice that it has already added one more catch clause for you, and it is logging it. Okay, so whatever it does, remember, if the class is not found or anything, suppose something has happened, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. Okay, if the driver is not there, are you going to write a program for the driver? You can't help it. Now, some people, what happens is when they run this particular project, they will get an unexpected error saying that the driver is not found. Everything is working properly, but when they try to run it, suddenly Java says that the driver is not there. In that case, for them only, what you are going to do, go to this project, And in this project, suppose when you are running it, not now, when you are running it, if you get an error saying that the driver is not found, what are you going to do? Go to your project and you have this libraries. If you click on the plus sign, you have this libraries for JDK. Now in this JDK, a lot of things are there. Okay, so I am going to go here and I'm going to say add library. Suppose if you are getting an error, then only do it. If you are not getting an error when you are running the program, don't do it. Okay, I have not run the program, so I don't know whether I'm going to get the error or not. But I'm just telling you that if you get an error, you do it. Okay, so you go to the add library. Okay, this option, add library, and in this add library, my machine somehow is slow. In this, you are going to be shown an option. So it is stuck altogether. Okay. So in this, you are going to be shown a lot of libraries for the Hibernate and so on and so forth. You are interested in Java DB driver. So this is the one that you are supposed to use it. So if you don't get it, use this library. If you get this error message, then only do it. Then you click on the add library, because now I already have it, so I'm not going to invite trouble by adding it one more time. And just cancel it. Suppose if you get it, then only do it. Otherwise, you're good to go. You made a connection. That's good. You need a statement. So how do you say STATE? And I'm going to use control space. And I'm going to say statement. If you want, you can type this whole thing. Statement again from not the Java beans. I want the statement from SQL. So look at the statement that you are getting. I want it from the SQL. So this is the statement. Okay, I'm going to control space it here. Just double click on this statement. Double click here. NetBeans will complete it. Okay, I'm going to call it as STMT. This is a variable name. How you write it? Int x. Int is the data type. X is the variable. Similar statement is the type, and STMT is the variable name. Is equal to. How do you do that? Go to the connection and then say get the statement. So you have this create statement. If you look at here, create statement will return a data type of data. The return value of this create statement is statement. So just press enter. That's done. Now once this is done, what are you going to do with it? I need a query for inserting something into the database. So how do I do that particular thing? I'm going to go to the services here again, and this is my database. This is the table that I have it. Right click on it, and I'm going to say view data. I'm going just to say view data. So when you type on view data, you see this option, select star from money.employee, and there is nothing is there. But at the bottom side, you notice that you have the data. No data is been shown, but you see a plus here. You just click on this plus. When you click on this plus here on this one, okay, this one. Okay. So when you click on this plus, you will be shown a option over here. Okay. So this is insert record. This is the option that you see, get insert record. And this in this inserted record, you notice that the first one is generated. So it says I will generate it, because you know very well you took all the pain in making it auto increment. Okay. From here, all of them are null because you allowed the null. So let me click on add row. Okay. It's already there. First row is already created, so I'm not going to add one more row. It is going to create one more blank row. So I'm going to just type the thing here. The first thing that I'm going to type is my name. Password is ABC. Okay. Email ID is money at Gmail. Something password. Country is India. Again, I'm just typing it. India. Now, and if you click OK, you can insert it. But I am not interested in inserting from here. I want to just to see the SQL statement. So I'm going to just click here and I'm going to say show SQL. Okay. This is the SQL that it has created. Okay, so this is the SQL that you are supposed to type in order to insert something into the database. So I'm going to just copy this, Control C, select this whole thing, Control C to copy it, cancel this thing, come back to your code here, wherever you have written this code here, and I'm going to create a variable string SQL, that is my query. Inside double quotes, I'm going to put a semicolon. Inside the double quotes, I'm going to just paste it. Okay, this is what you are supposed to do. Okay. This is the query that you are supposed to run. Okay. But these are not the values. And the thing is, these are not the values. So where are the values? Values are here. You already got these values. E-name, password, this is a email, country. These are the values. So this is not the value. This must be replaced. This is a string here. This is just a constant. This must be replaced by ename, variable name. This must be replaced by this variable name, and so on and so forth. So how do you do it? See, the technique is very simple. You follow this thing. Remember, this thing has to be changed. So keep the cursor here. Double click once. Okay, it got selected. So double click once, it got selected. You see there. Double click once, it got selected. Okay, don't do anything. 2 times double quotes. So type double quotes 2 times. Don't delete, don't do anything. Double clicked on this one. See, first thing you double clicked on this thing. 2 times double quotes. 2 times double quotes. Single quote and double quotes. You know very well. Use the left arrow from your keyboard. Come in the middle. So one part I'm just showing you. One part is the first double quotes. Second one is the second double quotes. So you are going to be there in the middle of these double quotes. 2 times plus. So on your keyboard type plus 2 times. Okay, done. Again come in the middle. Okay, come in the middle of this plus. Type ename and control space. NetBeans will tell you that this is the variable name. Whatever variable name that you have given here, that variable name will appear here. Let me do it for one more time. Don't try to delete, don't do anything. Okay, just double click on this. 2 times double quotes. Use the left arrow, come in the middle. 2 times plus symbol. Use the left arrow, come in the middle, and type the next one. PAS, you type it, control space it. NetBeans will do the needful to you. So use how to use the control space. Again, from here, double click. Okay, this time you have a problem because your word is too many things. It's not going to work with the this one. So you have to select it. When you select it, ensure that that single quote is there. That's very much required, because you know very well in your database the string is surrounded by single quote, not the double quotes. That is why I want you to retain that single quote. That is why I said don't delete the things. Okay, so here be careful. Select this one, don't select the single quotes. I am not selecting the single quotes here. You notice that there are single quotes here on this side and on the other side. Don't select those single quotes. Okay, so let me go here and press delete. Rest part is same. Now you can select either, if you want you delete it, or you just select it. There is no need to press delete or anything. Select it. 2 times double quotes. Use the left arrow, come in the middle. 2 times plus. Use the left arrow, come in the middle. Type em, control space. NetBeans will do it for you. So this is the variable name. If you notice that this is the variable name that you see here. Okay, so this is the variable name that is there. Lastly, for the last variable, that is the country. Okay, double click here. 2 times double quotes. Use the left arrow, come in the middle. 2 times plus. Use the left arrow, come in the middle, and you say country. COU, control space. NetBeans will complete the remaining part. So you know that there is no syntax errors as of now. Done with it. Now you have to execute a query. How do you execute a query? So you have this statement stmt dot, and you have this execute query. Remember, this query is not the execute query, it is execute update. Even though NetBeans says something, you are supposed to say execute update, not the query. It is why it is execute update, why not something else. So let me show you that thing, why it is execute update. Now you notice here execute update is used with the insert update delete queries. So this is the one that you are supposed to use it, execute update, and NetBeans will do something with you. Now, before I do it, I'm going to just show you something. Now, this execute update will return an integer value. So if you notice, what is that integer value is all about? It returns either 1, okay, or 0, okay. So if it is 1, it means it has done it. It returns 1. The row count 1 for a SQL data manipulation TML, and for 2 or 0 for other one. So if it is 1, that means it is successful. If it is not, it is unsuccessful. So let me save the output with a semicolon. You can try like this, but I'm going to save this return value, and I'm going to store it in this R count. How many rows are affected? What is this statement that you are going to get it with this query? How many rows are affected? That's what it's going to show you. Did I made some mistake here? Okay, nothing. So that is being done. It is going to show you how many rows are getting affected. Now let's come back to the SQL part over here, and you notice that you have this HTML part here. You notice that this is header, this is a title, and the title is I'm going to say add employee. Okay, title, I'm going to just change it, and I'm going to say add employee. Just make the title good one, add employee, and you see an output over here. So I'm going to use the if statement. If, say, it is returning some value. If the value is 1, that means one row got affected. If only one row got affected, then, so if the return, this is R count, you notice that R count. So I'm going to say if R count equal to 1, then I'm going to just put the bracket for this one. Then I'm going to say, okay, in the H1 or H2 or whatever it is, I'm going to just say here, this is a direct statement, okay, record saved. You can type long things, but during the examination, don't try to type very lengthy string like this, okay. Otherwise, I'm going to say there was an error. There was an error. Okay, that's it. I don't know what was an error, but there was an error. That's it. If the row count, if more than one row is affected, that means you made a mess. That's it. Okay, so simple as that. So if only one row got inserted, then it is correct. If more than one row got inserted, then that means there is something wrong. Something went wrong. Okay, that being done, and let's go and let's look at this in action. So I've saved this one. Let me go back and let me just refresh it. Okay, I'm going to use the different name. I'm going to say Sudha is the name. Password is ABC. I mean, this is not going to make any difference. Email is sudha@gmail.com. Okay, that's it. Country is, I'm going to say she's from Nepal. Oh, she's okay, Nepal. I said Nepal. So let me say save, see whether something is going to happen. Now, before I press this save, I'm going to do one small change. There is everything is proper. I just forgot one thing. Now, whenever you use these connections, where is this? Where is this connection gone? Story gone. When you open a connection, when you open a statement or something, please close them, because it is a good habit to close those things there. So just close them. So you got the connection. Okay, you said that this is the, and so on and so forth. So once your query is updated, okay, I'm going to just close that connection, because it is that's why I left one space, but I just forgot that particular thing. I'm going to say statement dot close. This is to statement. What was the name of this statement? STMT. Okay. Statement dot close. This is the first one. I'm going to close them. Remember this, you are doing it because you don't want to waste the resources. And this is also, where is this word gone? Close. Okay. This is required because you know very well, whenever you open a connection, just close that connection because you leave that connection back to the database. So I've just saved it. This is one extra thing that I've added because it is a good practice to close the connection once you open the connection. So with that done, let me refresh. There is no need to refresh this page because the action is going to be performed on the servlet. So I'm going to say save employee, and you say record is saved. Is it really true? So let me go to my services here, and in the services I can right click and say view data, or I already have that thing. If I not closed it, this is view data is already there. Select a star from table, it is already there. Let me just say, where is the refresh gone? Okay, let me run this query. Okay, and you notice ID is automatically created here. Notice ID is one automatically created. Name is Sudha, password is ABC, and Gmail, and so on and so forth. Everything is there. So the record is saved. Simple as that. Okay, so you have saved it, but I will add one small extra thing over here, and that is after saving, you just say save record is saved. But I want to add one link here so that I can come back. Okay, simple as that. How do I do that thing? First of all, I don't know how to create a link, so I'm going to go to the index.html. In this index.html, at the bottom side, you have this form and so on and so forth. So I'm not going to touch that form and other things. So that is, I don't want to disturb the existing one. So here I'm going to start with the a href. Okay, and I'm going to press Control Space. I want to go to this index.html. Okay, I'm going to just close this one, and I'm going to type the word as home, and I'm going to close this one. So if I click on that, it should appear as home. Let me save it, and let me go back. I'm going to just refresh this one. I see this home. When I click on this home, I should come back. Now, not from this one. You are already in the home. So there is no point in coming back to the home again and again. So I am going to copy this one, Control C from here. Select this Control C, or you can say Control X also. And I will go to my servlet, which is there. Okay. In my servlet, I have shown record is inserted, record is not inserted, and so on and so forth. After that, before the body is closed, you see that slash body, before the body is closed, I'm going to say out dot print line. I'm going to use println, and I'm going to use inside double quotes. I type the double quotes here, and I'm going to just paste that. Okay, so it's going to show the same thing even in the servlet home. Okay, so let me try it. Okay, I'm going to use the word Dheeraj. Dheeraj is there. Password is ABC, or let me say XYZ is the password. XYZ is the password. I'm going to say the room at yahoo.com, and let me assume that Dhiru is from India. Save it. Done. Record is saved. Oh, I think I didn't save this one. Sorry about that. Okay, just forgot to save this servlet. Okay, now let me try one more time. So I need to remember one more name now. Who is the other person? Okay, who is Dhanraj? Okay, and www is the password. I'm just typing the password. Okay, and Danu, not Sanu. Danu again. Yes, is coming. Danu. Okay, at Gmail. He is from Sri Lanka. Okay, so let's save him. And you see this home. It has come this home. Click on home. You're back here. You're done. A beauty. Okay. With that being done, let's see the database. Just see, our query is there. This query is there. Let me run the query again. Three things must be there. Sudha is there, Dheeraj is there, then Raj is there. So all are there. You are able to save it to the database. That is being done. Now, but let's look at what else they have asked. They said that there must be a view employee option. So here, what you have done is home here. Instead of this home, there must be view employees. What must happen when you click on that view employees? So when you click on this view employees, you must get to this. They have not added this separation line here. When you click on this view employees, you must get this option, and this will come in the servlet. So I need a servlet for that. So let me go ahead and add a servlet. How do you add a servlet? Let's go to the project. Again, if the project is not visible, go to window and you get this project. Go to this project. And in this project, I'm going to close this library, and you have this packages here. You can go to this package and right click on this package, because I don't want to create one more package there. One package is enough for me. I will keep all my components in the same project, the same package. So let me right click on it and then say new servlet. Done. So new servlet. And I'm going to say view employee. View employee, no spaces when you type the class name, view employee. Okay, that will be my servlet. Click next. So this is the next servlet that I'm adding, new employee. Let me click next, and I'm going to add the deployment descriptor. If you wanted to add it to the deployment descriptor, it's not going to make any sense in this particular project. So you have added it. Now let's come back to this index.html. I'm going to just close this one, index.html. And here I have this home now. Instead of this home, I am supposed to go to this particular page. And this is not the home. What they have said is view employees. So this word must be changed as view employees. So let me change this word, view employees. And this is the word. But this is not the place where it should go. It is not an index.html where it is supposed to go. Where it is supposed to go? It is supposed to go to the this particular servlet. And what is the name of this servlet? View employees. Again, I am not going to type this name because Java is case sensitive. I will go to this employees.java, and I'm going to just double click on the class name. Control C to copy it. I'm very sure that this is the name. And I go to the index.html, and in the index.html you have h reference, and I'm going to just paste it there. At the bottom side, after this form and other things, I'm going to say view employees. Just save it. Okay. Let me refresh this one page, and you see view employees. You got this view employees. If you click on this view employees, what's going to happen? You will be taken to the employees view employee. This is the particular what is that, a servlet. You will be taken to the view employee servlet, as simple as that. Okay, so that being done, let's get this table inside that. You have to get this table inside that, and now typing this table will create a havoc in your life. So what I am going to do is I'm going to cheat a bit, and I'm going to type this whole thing, whatever that HTML part that you are supposed to get. Remember, you have to get that. The table can't be obtained in other way around. You have tried the HTML for that, and it is going to be a difficult challenge if you type this thing table inside this Java. You notice how they write inside this Java. Inside that Java, you have to write out.println, and so on and so forth. You have to. This is going to be a terrible story here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this index.html. After some place, remember in the body, I can make some spaces here. This is the original content, the content that you see here. This content is here. This is the add employee, employee name, password, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to disturb it. Somewhere at the bottom side, I'm going to use it for a temporary purpose. So I start with the h1 tag. Okay, why h1 tag is because they said here employee list. So you're going to say employee list. This is the h1 tag. This is followed by a, where is this? where is it gone? This is followed by a table. So let's get that table. Okay. Table, and I'm going to set the border for this table. Border is equal to 2, is equal to 2, not 1. This is 2 border. Okay, and I'm going to use the first one. You notice that first one is the header, so I'm going to use tr. Okay, and I'm going to use th. You know, this is a th story, header story. So th. First one is the id. If you notice that, first one is id. Second one is name, password, email, country, and edit. These things should be there. Remember, you can enter and write it in the other way around. I'm going to use it in the single line itself. So next part is th again. Next is name. Go here again th. I'm writing this one now. I'm getting this part. So this whole thing, I'm only getting this part. Okay. So I will get that. That is a static one. This is a heading, right? So next one is password. Th, and what is the next one is the email, and th. Next one is country, and the last one, I'm going to just go with that, th. The last one happens to be edit. So I've taken all of them. So if you notice here, id, name, password, email, country, edit, all are there. So you are done with this one. It is done. Where is it gone? This is done. Okay, next I'm going to put a tr here, and you need some td, for adding the actual data. The next part td, what I've not added additional td is because next you are going to add the actual data. From where will you get this data? This data you are going to get it from the database. So this you're going to get it from the database. This whole thing, what you're getting is from the database. So that has to be dynamically filled. Now just for the viewing, I'm going to save this one, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to just refresh it. This is how it's going to look like. Okay, so this is the one that this is half complete. This data has to come from the database, but this is how it should look like. Okay, but it is not this place. You're not supposed to add it here. You are supposed to add it in this servlet. So that is going to be a terrible story now. So what you are going to do now, you know that this table is working. So I will just make this one, table is working, move the extra space. So table is there. I'm going to copy this one, Control C to copy it, Control C to copy it. Go to the servlet. So I've just copied whatever I've typed, this extra part that what I've created here, this I've copied it. Okay, this, and I'm going to go to my servlet. I will go to my servlet, that is view employee servlet. Okay, and you notice generally it is going to show you that h1 servlet employee, and this line inside this body, this extra line, it will add the boilercode plate will add it, but that's not really required. So in between body and body, you see there, in between body and body, your table must come. So I have copied already, so I've deleted that one extra line is there. It will show this, what is that, a servlet name. It's going to show when you run it, it will just show you. That is not required. Okay, so I've deleted that line. If you are wondering which line I've deleted, is this is the line. This is the view employee, this servlet, that line I have deleted. It is not really required. Okay, so that has nothing to do with your code, right? So I have kept this body and body blank here. I have already copied the things from here, so copy it from here, get it to the view employee and paste it. Now this part, when you paste it, Java will blow up and say that this is not Java. You are typing HTML inside Java. It will not accept this. For Java to accept this part, you need to get the Java part. Okay, I mean, you need to convert it into string or something. Then only the Java will understand that. Otherwise, Java will say that These are all nonsense. I can't use the HTML and you convert your HTML into Java code. That's not possible. So how do you do that thing? You have to complete this thing has to be converted into HTML. I mean Java part. You notice here, the body is there. This body is wrapped inside out.println, and there are two double quotes are there. Similarly, you have to put double quotes and put here before that and put it inside out.println. Do it for all the lines. It's going to be a terribly long process. So what you are going to do? That is why you are supposed to use an IDE. So when you have this IDE, you have an option here. And that option is, you see this particular thing, and that is the rectangular selection. So I'm going to click on this rectangular selection. You get it over here. So just click on this rectangular selection. Okay, that's not the one, that's not really required. Just keep the cursor. Where is it? Keep the cursor not on any of this one. Keep the cursor here, right at this one. Remember, keep the cursor. See to it that you have you can go down like this. Don't keep it here because you can't go down like this. Okay, keep it. See to it that when you go down, you don't. There is no obstacles. You can simply go here. If you go down from here, there it's going to touch this. It's going to touch and so on and so forth. So keep it the cursor at a particular point, let's say here, wherein you don't have any problem there. And then I'm going to click on this one, that is the vertical rectangular selection. Okay, I'm going to click on this one, click here, and now click and drag down. It's going to create a rectangle here. Okay, keep the rectangle only up to the point where it is required. From here to here, you are supposed to get, you see that rectangle. Okay, it is still there. Let me do it one more time. So I will click here. What is this nonsense? Okay, let me keep it here, and let me bring it down. So can you see a rectangle, a small rectangle? Now extra is not required. I'm going to do it one more time. So from here to here, get done. It's done. You see that thing? Okay. Now you type out dot print ln, okay, and put double quotes. So the first part is over. However, unfortunately, you can't do it on the right hand side. Okay, what is that you are supposed to get it? Remove this once you have done it. Just click here and remove it. It's done. It's gone. Once you have written this one, just to click here and remove it. If you put once, it's going to come. It's like toggle. If you click again, it goes back. Once you have written this out.println line, you have to close it. How do you close it? Use this closing bracket and close it. However, you can't make a rectangular selection here because it's going to touch the other one. Okay, it is done. Then what is the solution? You know very well. You know how to copy paste it. So you complete once, then select this one. Double quotes. Remember, you start with the double quotes. This part has to be there. You write that this part. Control C to copy it. Come here, Control V to paste it. Come here, Control V to paste it. Go to the extreme side. Click here, Control V to paste it. Go here, Control V to paste it, Control V to paste it, Control, and so on and so forth. You have done with it. However, there is only one minor problem, and what is the minor problem is with the border. You are already placing, you can't have double quotes inside a double quotes. That's not allowed. So just escape this by putting a backslash. You know very well, if you want double quotes inside double quotes, use the slash and double quotes. So I'm just putting slash and double quotes, slash and double quotes. So that is being done. Okay, let me save it. Okay, just save this one, click here and save it. Let me go back to my employees. Let's do that. I'm going to click on view employees, and you will see this same boilerplate code here with all of them. So remember, you are in the servlet now, you are not in the HTML now. So I'm going to go here to my HTML. That HTML part is being used up. So I'm going to go here to the HTML. This part is not required. So this employee part, this is for the servlet, right? I've just used it to create my table structure. So I'm going to just delete it. It's not part of the one. So I'm going to delete it. I did it so that I can easily create that table. So that is done. I'm going to just save it. So let's see it in the action. Now I'm going to go back, refresh it. So this is how it's going to look like. When I click on the view employee, I've deleted that the table. Remember, the table is being used up here in the servlet. So what is the use in putting it there? Okay. That I've created just for easily you can create a table and then paste it, and you can get the things done. So let's go back here and let me click on view employees, and this is what you're going to see. Employee list is created. So this part you see there, this part you have to fill with the rows taken from the database. So how do you get it from the database? Option is very simple. You go connect to the database, get the things done. So again, the same story has to be repeated. I'm not going to repeat this whole story again and again. So I'm going to just go here. So there is something called to-do list. Something is there. So I'm going to just delete that line. And here, immediately after the try statement, I am going to go to my add employee story is there. You see this add employee story. In this add employee, again, if you have closed this add employee, go to your project, double click on add employee, it's going to come up. Just double click on this icon and it's going to open up. Now it is already open in my case. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go and say class for name, and I'm going to go up to the SQL statement. So I'm going to select up to SQL statement. So class for name, connection, and so on and so forth. Control C to copy it. From the add employees, I'm copying it and I'm going to go to the view employee, and in the view employee inside this try block, I'm going to just paste it. Okay. When you paste it, NetBeans is going to say, do you want me to import this SQL connection and so on? So for yes, please import it. So the NetBeans will import all these things for me. I don't have to type it. It has come there. Now, that is not the end of it. There is this catch statement is missing. So if you notice, you see a bulb with the exclamation mark. I'm going to go over here and say, okay, click on this bulb and say add the catch clause. When I click on it, it's going to add the catch clause for me, class not found. In the same way, when I go here, it's going to say when you have the connection, you can have a SQL exception. So I'm going to click on it and say add catch clause. When I click on it, you notice that it's going to add SQL exception. So done. Now only thing I need is this connection string. No, not the connection, the query. So what is the query? You know very well. The query is obvious. You have to read all the records. You need to read all the records from the database and show it. So let's go back to our query section here. And what was the query that you know it for sure? Select a star from employee, but I don't know. So I'm going to select it, Control C to copy it. And I'm going to go back and to my view employees, and the query that I'm supposed to use is this one. Okay, this is a select query, so it's going to return a result set. You know very well, this is going to return a result set. I'm going to say result set again from java.sql. I'm going to press enter here. What the NetBeans will do is it will add the result set java.sql.result set as an import statement, so I don't have to bother about it. rs, I'm going to take the variable name as rs is equal to, I'm going to say stmt dot, and NetBeans is kind enough to say that you are executing a query, and this query will return a result set. That is true. Press enter. NetBeans will fill everything for you, and what it has filled is this SQL string that you have done, that is filled here for you. Okay, and what is that we are supposed to do? You have to iterate and then fill these values. You have to iterate and fill the values over here. Remember, don't fill the heading part. The other part you have to fill it. So let's go to the HTML part. First part, what you see over here, up to here, tr and up to this tr is not this one. This is the heading part of that employee table. So this employee table and all these things, this is the heading part. Okay, so then next tr, I have not completed that. The next tr, the next tr is the one that I am supposed to touch. So from here I have to repeat it. So I have to repeat the tr. What is tr? Rows. How many records are there? So many rows has to be created. So if there are 3 records are there, 3, or if there are 4 records are there. For every employee, one row has to be created. So how do you create a row? You know very well, tr and tr is to create the row. So I have it. So I'm going to use the while loop. While loop rs dot next, you know very well, as long as there are records in your result set. Okay. I'm going to right click and say auto format it. You see anywhere you blank area, you just right click and then say format. It will format it to you. So as long as there are records in the record set, create the rows. So create one row for one record, create one row. And in this row, what is that you are supposed to do? In this row, for every column, read the values from the corresponding fields in the database and show it at the corresponding location. So that is simple as that. For every column, okay, read the value from the database and show it. So as simple as that. So for every column, so this is every column. Let me remove the unwanted space there. So for every column, read from the database. How do you read from the database? You know rs, you have to get it. So remember, I'm going to break this one. How do you break this one? You know the steps I've already told you. Keep the cursor here between td and td. This is one column. Keep the cursor here, 2 times double quotes, use the backspace, 2 times plus, use the backspace. Here you have to get. So I'm going to say rs dot, okay, get the string, and I'm going to give the name of the column. What was the first column? First column is ID, and that is true even in my database. If you look at my database, the first column is ID. If you want, you write everything in capitals, or it's not going to make much of a difference. But I'm going to just type ID. This is the first column. I'm going to just save it. Okay. And I'm going to just refresh it. You see 1 2 3 4. I got the column values 1 2 3 4. This is the value. Where is it gone? This is the values 1 2 3 4. Let me get the name. How do you get the name? Let me do it. Let me go here and next column. So I'm going to just press enter. For the next column, I'm not going to type this whole thing. Control C, Control V. What is the next column? Is just look at the database. What is the next column? Next column is ename. I've used the ename there. Ename is the next column. I'm going to just save it, and just once it is deployed, I'm going to just refresh it. All the names, you got it. Similarly, you have to get the all of them one after the other. I'm not going to put one column and show it from now onwards. I'm going to just copy this, Control C, Control V. Which is the next column name? Next column name is ID is over, name is over, password is the next column name. So next column name is password. Next column name, I'm going to just press enter. Next column name is email. Next column name is what was that? Country. Done. Let me save it and let it deploy it, and then refresh it. You got everything. Next part is the edit part. One column is not filled because edit part has not come there. Where will I get this edit part? So there you have to get the edit. If you look at here, edit is actually a link. This is a href or link. How do you create href? I don't know. How do you create a href? And when you click on this one, you have to go to this update employee servlet. So when you click on this edit, you have to go to the update. So if you click on the Amit Kumar and edit, the name of Amit Kumar will come here. If you click on this edit, it will go to the next servlet and it will show the details of the Amit Kumar. Okay, so this has to be done. In any case, it has to go to the next servlet. So let's go and let's create one more servlet. I'm going to go here to my project. I'll go to the project over here, and this is Java part, and this is the your so this part is Java, and the other part is what was that, HTML part. So let me right click on it and let me say new, and I'm going to put a servlet. Okay. So what did I do? I'm just putting a right click and put a new servlet here, and inside this COM itself, I right clicked on the COM itself, so that I don't have to type the package name COM. Otherwise, I have to type the package name also. So if you right click on this package, that means you are adding to that package itself. So that's simple as that. So here I'm going to say update employee. So update employee, and then click next, and then say add the information to the deployment descriptor, finish it off. So this is the one you have to go. Now the question is, when you click on this edit button, it has to go to this update employee. How do you do it? Now I don't know how to create the hyperlink, so I will first go to the HTML here, index.html. Suppose if you close this index.html, go to this project, go under the web, you get this index.html, double click on the icon, not the text. Okay, how do you get this one? So you know very well how do you get the link. So you say a anchor href, and you're supposed to do something, and you are going to say edit is the word, edit is the what is this, edit is the word. Then I'm going to just close this one. Done. Okay, where is it going to go? This one has to go to this one. So what is the name of the servlet that's now you created? That is the update employee is the servlet. I'm going to go here to the update employee, and I'm going to double click and select the name. Remember, I have not put the spaces in between. Class name cannot have spaces, so don't override those things. These are silly things you must know. Okay, double click on this update employee, Control C to copy it, go here, Control V to paste it here. Just for to be very sure that whether I'm getting it or not, I'm going to just save this one, save it, and I'm going to go here to my home page, and I'm going to, what is this, refresh it, and you see this edit button. Don't worry, that edit has come. So just click on this edit. When I click on this edit, you are going to get this update employees not found. Okay, oh, my spelling mistake. Let's see, what was the employees was there. Let's go update employee. How come this has happened? This is what happens. Yes has come. Okay, I think I pressed Control ES for saving. I do it as I talk. I actually press Control ES for saving something into the database. So just save it one more time, refresh it. When you click on this edit, it will take you to the update employee. It is going to take it. But the problem is it has to edit the corresponding record, whichever ID you are using, that same ID is record. If this ID is 63, get here, so this ID is 63, this ID you have to pass, so that remember, ID is the primary key, so you pass the value of a primary key, not the name, because Rahul can be 100 Rahuls can be there in the database, so you really don't know. So you have to pass this ID to the update employee servlet. How do you pass the ID? So I'm going to pass the ID as, how do you pass the parameter? So one of the ways to set the parameter is use the post method. Other one is the get method. I'm going to use the get method. So in the get method, you put a question mark, okay, and you say ID is equal to some value. So in this case, ID equal to 1. That is the meaning. So ID is the variable name, that is the identity, value is 1. So this is what you are going to use it. I'm going to just save it, Control S to save it, and I'm going to refresh. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to refresh this one, edit. So if I click on the edit now, you notice that it is showing the same thing, but one thing that you will notice here is it's going to say update employee, and it is now passing extra parameter saying that the ID 1 has to be edited. or ID1 has to be updated, whatever it is. So did I use the word update? I should have used, I used the word update. I should have used the edit. I think edit is the good word. Anyhow, update means update. I used it. Why to change the name? Okay, what is there in the name? You can give any name. Variable could be X, variable could be Y. This is, after all, at the end of the day, that's going to be a variable. Okay, so I want this thing. Now the question is, I want this thing, whole thing. You say this, it is working, this ID is working. So I know it. Control X, I'm going to copy it from here. Control X, go to this view employees, and there is one other column that is required. Let me get that one. Okay, I'm going to just paste it here because I cut already. I've cut it from there. Just keep it here. Then I'm going to, I just keep it here because I've already cut from this place. Instead of copying, I just press Control X there, cut. So as I talk and do it, sometime my mind goes out. So I use a cut. I should have used a copy, but I cut it. So I just brought it here. And where is it? I just pasted it here. Now I want one extra column to come here. There is this one extra column to come here. So I'm going to go here, Control C, copy, and Control V. Generally, I use Control C and Control V, but this time I just messed up. Okay. So inside this Control C and Control V, so I'm going to, this is the table that you have it here. Let me just, inside this, I'm going to paste that thing, whatever that was there. So whatever which was there in the index.html, this I cut it actually, but if you have not cut it, you can just take it and then paste it over here. And the NetBeans will do the needful things of adding the backslashes for you. So you don't need to take that trouble. So now let's look at it. So this is the extra last column that I have added. And the ID is, I've put it as 1. So just for your reference, I've done it. So let me go back and let me refresh it. And I'm going to click on View Employees. Remember, I cut it, so you don't see the edit here. I cut it there. So it is gone. Instead of copying, I just cut it there. So it's gone. So if I click on the View Employees, okay, this is how it's going to look like. And you have this edit option here. Can you see there? So if I click on this edit option, it will go and it will show you the ID as 1. I go back and I click on this ID2. Remember, this row has an ID2 here. I click here, but it shows ID is 1 again. I go back, I click on the third, and it's going to show the ID is 1. That means this number value has to change accordingly. How do I change it? Okay. So for this, let's go back. For this, I'm going to remove this 1. Okay, I'm going to remove, select it, remove this 1. Okay, how do you do it? Replace it. Remember, select it, see the thing, it is always the same story. Okay, what is the always the same story? Okay, it is first 2 times double quotes. Remember, you select it, 2 times double quotes, use the back arrow on your keyboard, 2 times plus symbol, and in between you have to get the ID. How do you get the ID? You already know. How did you get the ID in the, for the first column? For this column, how did you get this ID? For that column, you got the ID using rs get string ID. This is the one. So I'm going to just copy that whole thing, rs get string ID. I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to go here at this location, and I'm going to just paste it. Done. Control yes to save it. I'm going to save the project. Let me go back and start over again. So from here, I go to view employees. I get the employees here. I click on the first employee. Remember, ID is 1. I click on it. It will take me to the ID 1. That's good. Go back. Click on the second one. ID is 2. Can you see there? Go back. Click on the third one. ID is 3. So depending upon the number of rows, if you have inserted additional rows, it's going to go. Now here, we are supposed to read the, now in this case, we are supposed to read and show the details of the employees. You're supposed to do that. How do you do that? Again, this is already there. If you look at this part, if you look at this part is same as adding an employee. You see, only the title is changing. So it's already there. The whole thing is already HTML part. I'm talking about the HTML part. It's already there. So you just copy paste it from there. As simple as that. Okay. So let's go back to the what is this again? Let's go to the index.html. Okay. I need everything from here. H1 add employee. Instead of add employee, what they are saying is here is update employee. It's simple as that. The remaining part is already there. So I'm going to go from here. Select from here to here. I'm going to just go here and up to here. Control C. If you want, you can even copy that one also. Control C to copy it. So many things has to be copied. Control C to copy it. Okay, come to the update employee servlet. So update employee servlet. Remember, you can just double click on it if you have closed it. So open this one, update employee servlet. And in this update employee servlet, you have this HTML and the body part. Always concentrate on that body part. There is going to be an extra line that is added by the NetBeans. This is just showing which is this servlet. That line is not required. So I'm going to remove that line. Just delete it. So here in the body part, we are supposed to copy that. So Control V to copy it. As usual, when you copy it, this is the HTML part. HTML cannot be directly copied into the Java. So you have to write print line and this part. You have to do that. So how do you do it? Again, I'm going to go to the vertical selection. First, see to it that you have sufficiently, just scroll down and see whether you are touching anything. So here, just keep the cursor at some point. You keep it here. Click on this one. That is your rectangular selection. Click on this rectangular selection. Click here, drag it down until, remember, don't unnecessarily don't select additional lines. Just select only up to here. Okay. So this is the one that you have copied. This whole thing you have copied. Yes. So now start writing. Once you make a selection, start typing out dot println. Open the double quotes. Remove this one. Remember, this is a toggle button, so just remove it. Oops. Remove it. It's gone. On the other side, you have to close it. Now you may not get the full option, so I'm going to just put the double quotes. Remember, you started with the double quotes. You close the double quotes. Open flower, the circular bracket is there. Close the circular bracket, and in Java, you know every statement is terminated by a semicolon. Put it there. Control C to copy it. Control V to paste it. Control V, start pasting it for every printout outline. Start pasting it so that you get the everything in the Java. Okay, so this, this. So many places you have to struggle. Okay, you can't help it. Control V to paste it. I'm pasting it. That's it. Control C and Control V. You can directly do it. So you know during the examination, it's going to take a slightly long time during the examination. Okay, done. Now there is other problem is there. What are the other problems? This, you notice that it is already double quotes are there. Double quotes inside double quotes is not allowed. So you have to put a backslash. Double quotes inside double quote is not allowed. Put a backslash. Again, same for the add employee. Put a backslash. Put a backslash for all of them. Whatever you are doing it, put a backslash. For everything, a lot of manual work. Yeah, put a backslash. When you put a backslash, it is that you don't delete that double quotes and make a mistake. Just put a backslash. Wherever double quotes are there, keep only the first and last double quotes. Remaining for every double quote, just put the backslash. For country, I'm going to do it. Oops. See, this is what happens when you put the backslash. That Double quotes itself may vanish, so be careful with what you're doing. So keep the cursor here, put the double quotes. Keep the cursor here, put the double quotes. Done and done and done. Okay. Only thing, let me save it and just see how is it going to look like. So I'm going to go back, click on edit, and this is how it's going to look like. Okay. Now this is not add employee. Story has to be changed. What is this update employee? So you have to now make changes. So here it says add employee. You have to say update employee. Done. There is one other correction that need to be done. The button says edit and save. And what does your button says? Save employees. So small changes to the button text. So you have this button at the bottom. You have this button. Now this is one extra line that's not really required. Okay. Save and edit. So here it is edit and save. Okay, as what they have given, edit and save. A lot of things to be done, but it's all over. So when you do this, so here and just refresh. I mean, just refresh it, edit and save. Now the question is, you are supposed to get the value. Suppose if it is ID 1, you have to get the value of Sudha. If it is ID 2, you have to get the value of Dheeraj, and so on and so forth. You have to get their ID. How do you get their ID? Okay. Again, go to the database, read it, and show it. So the same story, how do you go to the database? You have to have class for name. So I'm going to just scroll it up, and there is one remark statement here right at the top. Here I'm going to make some space. After try statement, I'm going to make some thing. Now I think one mistake that I've done, just remember that again, I forgot this time also I forgot, and that is one small mistake. Apology for that. When I selected this view employee, I think I have not closed the connection. A small apology for that. It is working, no doubt, but you know very well, when you are doing something, it is better you close the statement and close the connection. This is what it is already taught even in your JDBC classes. Close the connection and close the statement. But sorry, when I open this view employees, it's working, no doubt. You see this, it's working. But as a good programming practice, it is better you close the connection. So I'm going to copy this from my first servlet. I'm going to copy this control C, close statement dot to close and connection dot to close. I'm going to go here and write at the bottom before the try catch statement after the end of HTML and body and other things. So after here HTML body and other things, I'm going to paste it here. You can put a double quotes and make spaces, the enter and make spaces and then paste it. So this is to close the connection. So remember, when you open the connection, please close the connection. It's always required that you close the connection as well as statement. As a good practice, you do it. Yeah, I just forgot that, but if you don't do it, what will happen? Java will forgive you and it will close the connection on its own. It's not going to, it's not that it's going to keep the connection active. Java will close it for you. So, but it is your duty to close it. Okay, then back to the story here. So here I need the same old stories. So what are the same old stories? I have to go here and where is this thing? Uh, there is this. I need a class connection SQL statement and all of them. I need everything. Okay, and I need to do something. Okay. Control C to copy it from the view employees. I'm going to select everything. That is the class for name, connection, and so on. Control C, and I'm going to go to the update employee, and I'm going to paste it here. Done. Where is this? Control V. When I paste it, NetBeans will ask me, do you want to import it? Yes, yes, please import everything. And NetBeans will say that you have to handle the exception. So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to say add it to the catch clause. Again, I'm going to click on this one more bulb here and I'm going to say add it to the catch clause. Done. After this, you should not get any error. So this is done. Now the query is different. Remember, this is not a select a star from employees. You need to change the query. What is the query? Let's look at the query itself. I'm going to go to the query and I'm going to put the where clause, select star from table, and I'm going to say where id equal to 1. Now if I run it, what is going to happen? If you run this one, you see three records are being shown. If I run it, I'm going to get the record of Sudha. If I say id equal to 3, if I run it, I'm going to get the ID of Dheeraj. So ID equal to value. So my query is changed now, where ID is equal to something. So I'm going to just copy this, Control C, and I'm going to go to the update here. And where is my query here? So select is not, remember I'm in the update employee. Select a star from money.employee where ID is equal to 3, but that is not the question because it is not that ID 3 alone. ID can change whatever value which is there. If I click on ID 1, then it must be 1. If I click on the second record, it is 2. Now if I have a 100th record and if I click on the ID equal to 100, that 100 must come. So it is this ID value must be this value that need to be updated. So how do I get it? First, remember this is a parameter that is supplied to the servlet. So where do you get it? So when you make a request, you are sending something. So it is a part of the request. So I go to the servlet, and where is the servlet here? Okay, right at the beginning, I go to the servlet. Right at the beginning here, I'm going to make it. I'm going to read that ID, and remember ID is an integer, so I'm going to say int ID is equal to, you know very well, whatever you pass to the servlet, whatever you pass in the HTTP protocol, all of them are text. Okay, all of them are string. How do you convert it? You know, you studied about boxing and unboxing. So I'm going to say integer dot parse int, and then how do you read the ID? So this is to convert it into integer. So I told you whatever you pass to the servlet, it is part of the request. So I'm going to say request, control space to complete it, request dot get parameter. What is the name of the parameter? Name of the parameter is ID. So why it is name of the parameter is ID? You know very well this parameter that you see here is ID. This is ID. That's the name of the parameter. Now question mark is not there. Question mark is just the separator saying that from now the parameters will start. So I am reading this ID, and this ID must be used in the where clause. So employees where ID is equal to not 3, ID is equal to the ID that you are reading from here. So ID must be equal to the ID that is supplied to you. So how do you do that thing? So you know very well to do it. You are again, don't say that I'm going to put to double quotes and a 2 plus sign not required, because this is coming at the end. You know very well when something is coming at the end, what you will do, you just delete that 3 when ID equal to 3, whatever it is. At the end, you put a plus sign and you concatenate. What is this ID? ID is the one that you are reading it. So you are getting it from the parameter. That ID is supplied here. There is no need to put two double quotes or do 2 plus sign, because it is coming at the end. This last one that is coming there. Okay. Then execute query. Okay. What is the next thing? Remember, you in order to obtain the records, you have to say rs.next. Remember, if you don't use this rs.next, you know, I hope you are all familiar with it. It will return the result set, but your pointer is not pointing anywhere. When you say rs.next, it will point to the first element. Otherwise, your pointer is outside. You will get an error saying that the state is not proper. You'll get some error there. Okay. Now, you get this one. You read the record from the database corresponding to the ID. So for example, you read the record of Dheeraj. Now all the values of the Dheeraj has to be shown here. in this column. How do you do that thing? To do that thing, let me go to this one. Here you have the name. So you know this name and a text box is there. Okay. So name and text box is there. In the text box, you have written the input type text, name equal to ename. One more thing you have to add. What is the one more thing? One more thing that you have to add it. Let me show you in the HTML part. See here, you have where is this? Input type equal to text, name equal to ename. What is the next thing? You can say value. Okay, you know very well. Value is there. Okay, so I'm going to use that word value there. Okay, so let me try this one. Value. So I'm going to go here. Input type is equal to text, name equal to ename, and the next one value equal to, okay, two double quotes. Inside this, two plus sign. So as usual, you know, two double quotes, two plus sign, and inside here, rs dot get parameter. Get parameter. What is happening? Sorry, get not a parameter. Sorry, get a string. It is a string value. Let us not get string. And what is the string? String must be what is the parameter, or what is the field name in this case, because I'm talking about the record set. What is the field name? First one for the name, what was the field name? Field name is ename. Next one is password. Next one is email. Next one is a country, and so on. So here you're going to say this is name. Okay, let me show that thing. Save it, and let me just run it. Am I getting it? Okay, name I am not. Oh, I got an exception here. What was an exception? Get string name. Okay, so when you run it, suppose if you get like this, it's not coming there. Where will I check it? Remember, if you go to this output right here at the bottom, you have something called as an output. Okay, if you click on that output, you see that JDBC there is no error. You go to the glassfish. If your server is glassfish, glassfish will say that there is something wrong. Okay, what does it says? Number format exception id is null. So number format exception, where is it? So here I converted something into text. Let me zoom out for you. I converted something into text, right? There's a thing here. Where is it gone? Okay, this is, it is saying that I am not getting that id. Okay, that is number format exception. ID is null there. It says your ID is null. Employee ID equal to 2, I said, but it is saying that ID is equal to null. How is it possible? Okay, so let's look at that. It is not able to parse it as an integer. So you write a request or get parameter ID. So let me try it one more time. Okay, let's see. I have an exception again. Let me remove this, clear it. You have an option to clear it. Clear it and then try it one more time. Okay. So what does it says? Right at the top. Okay, there is no column called name. Oh, sorry. Oh, this time the problem is this. I said the name here. Where is it? The name story. Name is not there because I told you. Yeah, but you know, after half an hour, I become so forgetful that after half an hour, I myself forgot that this was called ename. Okay, so I gave the name as ename. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's a good thing that it happened. Otherwise, you really didn't know that. If the things went wrong, where to do it? Remember, you get lot of errors. Okay. First thing is when you get this error, first thing, right click here and then clear this errors. So that's very important. Remember, it's not going to solve the problem. You just clear this error. Okay, is everything is clear and again repeat it. again repeat the same problem. When repeat the same problem, you are going to get the errors. Otherwise, the previous errors, all those errors, it will store them, and you find that there are billions of errors are there. So you get confused. So clear it and then repeat the error. That is the fresh error. That is the only place where you got the error. Okay, so let's go back. And now I'm going to just refresh it. Again, I got it. See the error. And this is the fresh error. See, I cleared everything. This is the fresh error. And oh, again, it is saying there is no name. What is this? Oh, I think I have not saved this. Let's, I have not, I just forgot to save it. When you don't save it, it won't update it on the server. Try one more time. Okay, I got it. Dheeraj. Okay, it's a good thing that it happened. Not that don't say that you wasted your time on the video you've not done, because if otherwise, if you had got an error, you know, struggle like anything. Remember, this is the fresh error. Always when you get an error, you first thing you're going to do is you just clear it, so that you don't see all the previous good and bad part of the previous thing. Everything was working fine. Now there is an error, just reproduce the error, and you know, read at the top, don't go read at the bottom. It's going to show you the stack trace. Read the topmost one is the first error. After that, continuously many error occurred, because it is a stack, it will trace back everything from that point onwards. Okay, so let's go to the password. What are you going to do for the password? Remember, it's the same story. Value is equal to that. So I'm going to go with the value. So password is this one. Okay, ename. I'm going to just copy this one. Okay, password is password. I'm going to just copy up to here. I think. Remember, this whole thing has to fit here, including that double quotes. Control C, Control V. Okay, you got it. This one is password. I'm going to type it everything in capital. Password. Done. Again, email, space, and paste it. Email. Done. Paste it. Done. Now, there is a problem with the, I'll handle this part later, but let's see this part, whether I'm getting this or let me first of all, let me save it. I've saved it, everything. Am I getting up to password? But you notice that whether it is Dheeraj or other, now you cannot put the values here. There is nothing called a value for the selection. That is the drop down. There is no value. What is there for the selection? It is a selected. One word is there called selected. So let me show you that thing in the index.html. See, I'm going to just run this index.html. By the way, I got all of them except this. I got all of them. Let me run this index.html for your understanding. Let me run that index.html. And when I run this index, I think I would have come back and then shown you. Okay, when I run this index.html, you see the current country selected is India. This is because India was the first one in the list. Suppose if I go to China, and then in the options here, option, if I just say selected, you know what is going to happen. No double quotes, nothing is required. That one word is required, selected. If I say selected, and I'm going to save it. Now if I refresh it, look at, I'm not refresh it, the country is India. If I refresh it, the country is this one. So this is how you make the selection. Now the question is, this is going to be a terrible thing. And now look at here. Let's look at the query here. I'm going to use, I'm going to remove this where clause, because I want to show all of them. Let me run it. So, you know, the Sudha is from Nepal, Dheeraj is from India, and what are Dheeraj? Dhanraj is from Sri Lanka. So you have to see for Sudha selected, this word that I'm using, this selected should be for Nepal. Okay, for Dhanraj selected must be India. Okay, for the, where is the other person? Was that person? Dheeraj, or sorry, what I messed up. Okay, for this Dhanraj, the other third one, it is Sri Lanka. So it depends again. It depends. How do you do that thing? This is going to be a terrible thing there. Okay, how do you do that thing? Now you need some Java story here. Okay, let's start with the Java story here. I'm going to say string. I'm going to write the Java after this country. Remember, so selected. This is select, and you have the option India, Pakistan, and all these options are there. So this after this here, I have to check whether what is there in the database. So if in the database, if it is Nepal, I have to make the choice for Nepal. If it is India, I have to make and so on. Okay, so I'm going to remove this selected. It's not required. Let the India be the first country. So let's go ahead and let's do that thing. Let's go to the update here, and I'm going to create a string variable, string, and I'm going to call it as cell. Okay, so what is this one? First, I'm going to go to the rs, and I'm going to say get parameter. I think I'm not going to type this full thing. It is already there. rs.get parameter. It is already there. rs.get parameter. Okay, it is not email. It is country. So what is that I'm doing? I'm reading this value, country value. Okay. So if the country is Nepal, if the country is India, if the country is Sri Lanka, and so on, I'm just reading that value. Okay. I just say here rs.get the country, and I'm going to say if this country value is equal to India, if it is equal to India, remember, if it is, if the, where is it gone? Sorry. If this country is India, this is not an advertisement. Actually, it is not able to connect to the internet and update itself. So if the what is this? If the country is India, then you must make selected for India. So here you have to add the word selected. Okay, so that is what you are supposed to do it. So let me come here. If this is equal to India, okay, then I'm going to say selected. Otherwise it is blank. Okay, what is semicolon? I hope I don't know whether you are familiar with this thing. This is a short form of if statement. Hope you've studied it even in the C program. You studied this story. Question mark, if true, and colon this. So if the condition is true, you do the first one. If the condition is false, you take the second one. So if this country is India, you say selected, otherwise you say not selected. Okay, I'm going to put that selected over here. In this place, that selected has to come. Here you notice the selected has to come, that word selected has to come here. Okay, this is the place where that selected has to come, that word has to come. So I'm going to put it there. So if India is there, that selected has to come at that point. So I'll go here, and in this place you have to break it now, two double quotes, use the backspace, two plus sign, and then write cell. Okay, if India is there, India will be selected. Now next time you can't copy this whole thing. Remember, string is already declared, so you can't redeclare it one more time. Same variable cannot be declared, so I'm not going to copy that string. I'm going to remove that string, or after the string, whatever it is there, I'm going to copy it, Control C, and I'm going to paste it here. If the country is equal to Nepal, you see this Nepal, 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 then selected, otherwise blank. So here also I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to uh, copy and paste it over here. I'm not going to type this whole thing. Okay, so selected, what has happened is okay, let me try it. Two double quotes, two plus sign, and the cell. Done. One more time, press enter, Control V, not sorry, I copied a wrong thing. So Control C and Control V. If remember, for the second time, don't copy the string because you are declaring the variable. If you redeclare the variable, it is say cell is already declared. So and so on, you get a error message. So for this one, what is the next country? Next country is China. So I'm going to say if it is China, then in the option part, double quotes, double plus cell. Same thing, press enter, Control V. If the country is, I'm going to just copy this Sri Lanka as it is, Control C and Control V. If it is Sri Lanka, I just copy paste it so that I don't make a mistake with the spelling. Spelling in the sense the space is there in between. Okay. So again, double quotes, use the back arrow, press 2 times double plus and cell. It is done. So depending upon, so if it is Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka must be selected. If it is China, China must be selected. If it's India, India must be, and so on. So far, okay, so you've done it. Let's save it and let's come back. I'm going to just refresh. I think I will go here to my previous one. Let me go back. Let me click on, did I save everything? Okay. Let me click on Sudha. Sudha, you know very well, she's from Nepal. Let me click on edit and her country is Nepal. Let me go back. Let me go to the Dhanraj. Dhanraj is from Sri Lanka. Edit it and Sri Lanka. You see there. And last one is Dheeraj. Dheeraj is from India, and India is by default it is there. Now you make changes. You may change the country of Dheeraj to say I don't know Nepal or something. And if you click on save, what must happen? It must go again to one more servlet, and that will be your last servlet. Okay, so you have to create the last servlet of your project. So let's go ahead and let's create the last project of the last servlet of our project, and I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to say, remember, I will do it on the package itself. Right click, new servlet, done. What is the name? Name is save employee. Okay, done. Click on next, add the deployment descriptor, click on finish. This is the last one to go. Now when you click on the save and edit and save, it must come to that one. So let's go to the update employee here. So in this update employee, but the previous one, you see this form was there, and in the form you said the action is add employee. It is not add employee. Remember, in the update form, it is not from the update. When you click on here, you are not going to add employee. You are supposed to go to somewhere else. Where is that somewhere else? To this save employee. Again, I'll go to save employee. I'll go to this class, double click on it, Control C to copy it so that I know that I'm not doing any spelling mistake. Control C. Come to this edit employee. Okay, and in the form you have a method equal to post and action equal to, let's double click and paste it over here. It is the save employee. So from here you are going to go to the, when you click on this edit, you are going to go to the save employees. So from here you go to the save employee. So let me try this one. So you have to reach the save employees. Whether will you reach it to the save employee or not? Okay, I'm going to do it. One small changes is required. Okay, I will show you that one. Okay, so let me go back and let me select Sudha. She is from Nepal. Assume that I made changes and I click on this save, edit save, and I click on that edit save. It will take me to the save employee. Done. But the problem with this save employee is, remember, you are passing everything. You are passing the name. This is good. You are passing the password. You might change it. Okay, if you change it, the changed one, you may change the email address, you may change the country. But when you pass it to the other side, it doesn't know the primary key, which record has to be changed. That part will come here. So here, when it comes here, among them, which one has to be changed? For the database, that is a problem. So database requires that primary key. But what you notice in your case is you are not giving that primary key. You are giving the name, you are giving the password, email, and so on. Whereas the primary key, it is not there. So the other side will say that you give me the primary key and I will save it. So you have to supply a primary key. How do you supply this primary key? So to supply this primary key, again, you will go to this update employee. Okay, you have this form here, you have the table here. Anywhere you can do it. In this form, remember, after this form and before that end of form, before the anywhere you can do it. I'm going to add one field. After this form, I'm going to add one field. What is that one field? So you must ask that question. What is that one field? Let me go to the HTML and let me show you what is that one field. In HTML, you have studied input. Okay, there is one thing called as type is equal to hidden. I don't know whether you have given a second thought to that. Value is equal to 1. Okay, this is a hidden field. Okay, and definitely the name, I forgot the name. Okay, name equal to ID. Where is it coming? ID. Okay. So name equal to ID, value equal to 1. Value depends on who is being selected over here. So whether it is Sudha or something, that ID, whatever ID is there, that value. Okay. So this is the hidden field. Remember, you know very well, hidden fields are not shown, but it is there in the form. So I want to pass that hidden field. So I'm going to copy this whole thing, Control X from this place. Take it to the update employee. Anywhere you can do it. Remember, it must be there between form and end of the form. Anywhere you can do it. Okay, go here and you say out dot print ln. I don't want to print f. Print ln inside double quotes. You are supposed to supply this. What is that? I copied from there and I'm going to paste it. Okay, it is there. Now only problem with this is not the value. Every time it is not id equal to 1 because Sudha has the id 1 and Dheeraj has the id 2, Dhanraj has the id 3. So depending upon which id is passed, that id should be there. So what to do? You are already read this id. Look at here, where is it gone? You have already read this id. Okay, and you have queried it using that id. Now that id has to be passed here. So how do you do that thing? This is not always 1. This is what? Okay, this has to be replaced by that parameter that you have read. That is the id parameter that you have read. So how do you do that thing? So you select this one here. Where is it gone? You select this one. Okay, value is not always 1. So you select it. Same story, you want to replace it 2 times double quotes, come back, 2 times plus, come back, ID. It is done. Okay, so it's all done there. Okay, go back. Where is it? Okay, it's done. ID, now ID is also there. Save it. Now ID is there. Now the last part is in this save, you are supposed to save the content. How to save the content? You need to connect to the database, you need to edit it, you need to update it, you have to do all those things. Let us go and let us do that thing. Let's go to this add employee, and in this add employee you have this connection string and all these things. You are supposed to read everything. Also you have to read one more parameter, ID, which I have not shown here. I'm going to copy from the add employee. Remember, add employee will read everything, e-name, password, everything it is going to read. Plus save employee has to even read the ID. One extra thing is there. So you are going to, I'm going to just copy this whole thing and I will just the whole thing. Okay, whatever that was there in the employee, the database related, not the full thing, the database related thing. I'm going to just copy it. Control C it from the add employee. Control C it. Go to the this save employee. Just double click. Make some space there. Paste it here. Again, NetBeans will say, do you want to me to import it? Yes, please import everything. And again, NetBeans says that, oh, see, there is going to be an exception. There is a typed exception. Let me click on this one and say, add it to the catch clause. It's going to add it at the bottom, and again it's going to say there is one more catch problem, add it to the catch clause. It's all over. However, very important thing, one thing that is not over is you are reading, apart from you reading the ename, password, email and country, which is being shown here. Okay, there is also one hidden field which is not shown here, that contains the ID. Okay, so that you have to read it. So let's read that thing. We'll just read it. Control C. You can read it in any order. It is not that ID comes first, then you read ID. No, any order you want, you can read it. So I'm going to call this one as ID, and I'm going to call this one as also ID, because this one is ID because I gave the name of this as ID, small case ID, name is ID, the backslash is because of overriding, you know very well. So you read this ID. So you are going to write a query. What is the query that you are going to write? You are going to write an update query. Okay, what you are going to write? Okay, so you are going to say update, set the value. Okay, how do you update it? By the way, I'm going to just show you that one. How do you update it? So I'm going to say not a selector, update. How do you say update? Okay, update. What is this? Update the this one. Okay, then what is the next thing? You say set name equal to Rupa. Okay. Name equal to Rupa. Sorry, this is not the double quotes are not allowed. Name is equal to Rupa, comma. So what is the next thing? Password. Password is equal to ABC PQR. Let's say PQR and comma, single quotes and a comma. Okay. Okay. Then what else was there? The email equal to in single Rupa at where is this? Gmail. Okay, gmail.com. Done. Then what else she has? Country equal to. Okay, if you want, you write it in time. There is not going to make any. I already told you is case insensitive. Okay, then what is the country? Country is equal to what is this? I'm going to just press enter and I'm going to just bring it here. Okay. Country is equal to what is this? Country is equal to she is in Nepal. So I'm going to get it into India. Okay, country is equal to India. It is not the end where. Okay, how do you do that? Where ID equal to 1. Remember, where ID equal to 1, then Sudha will be replaced. If we say ID equal to, Dheeraj will be replaced and so on and so forth. So whether this query is going to work, let me select this one and let me run this query. Will this query works? So you see that there was an error. Oh, sorry. Again, I forgot this name. Name was ename. Okay, that was ename, not the name. Let me run it one more time. So do it and execute it successfully. So done. You have executed it successfully. Control C. Let me go here. If you want, you can write this one. Let me say view data, just for the fun. So view data from this one, and you notice that Rupa is Sudha is now replaced with the Rupa. That means, why did I write that query? Suppose if you are wondering, not to increase the length of this video. Okay, I wrote that query in this query box is because I am 100% sure that this query is working. That query itself is working. Okay. Otherwise, if you get when you get the confusion, you really don't know whether that query is working or whether whether the query has something wrong or whether your Java code has something wrong. Here now I know that if I run this query, it has replaced the Sudha with the Rupa with all the values. That means my query is 100% working. Then if it's not updating or something is happening, that means your Java has some problem now. Okay, suppose if it happens, not that I want the things to go bad. But if something happens, then you know that your query was proper because you tested the query. Only thing that is not working now is your Java code has something wrong. Then you have to fix that Java code. Okay, so let's copy this from here. Let's go to the save servlet here, and you have this query, very big query was there. Insert into that query was there. Remember, I'm in the save employee servlet. Okay, this was there. I'm going to just take this whole thing in the double quotes. So your SQL string was there. So with the two double quotes. So let's paste it here. Fully things are getting pasted. Okay, so everything is done. Only problem is not every time it is not Rupa. This Rupa has to be replaced with the e-name, password, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to replace these things. You know very well how do you replace it. So this Rupa has to be replaced with the e-name. So how do you do that? Again, double click on this Rupa. Don't remove that single quotes. Double click here. Two times double quote, press the backspace, two times plus sign, and it is e-name. Control space, it's done. What about password? Whatever password is there, double click. This is the value. Double click. Two times double quotes. Use the back arrow. Two times plus sign, and then it is password. Okay, what is this password that I'm trying to show? Is this is the password? That's a variable name. Again, same story, email. I'm going to select it because it's not going to select it. Remember, don't touch that single quotes there that is surrounding this password. Okay, don't touch that thing. So again, two double quotes, use the back arrow, two times plus, and this is email. Done. Last one, well, not the last. Again, still many are there. Country, India is there. Double click, select it, two times double quotes. How many times did I do it? So two times double quotes, back arrow. Let me remove this. Okay, plus and country is CON, control space. NetBeans will do it. What about ID? The same story. If you want, remember. By the way, don't use this. What is it? Semicolon, not required. If you copied the semicolon, so when you copy it from here, query that semicolon is not required. Semicolon is required only for SQL semicolon. Here don't put the semicolon. Where is it gone now? Save employees. Okay, here you have. Okay. Now this thing has to be replaced. I'm not going to remember when it comes at the end of the string. You know very well there is no need to do the circus of double quotes and two plus sign. You can just say plus ID. Okay, this is it. Done. Now the same story comes here also in the body. If remember when it's updates, it's going to say when you execute the update, you are going to return a value. The return value is one row got affected. That means you are luckiest one. Otherwise, you are in much bigger trouble. So I'm going to go to this body part. I'm going to remove this line, which is not really required. It's advertisement for the servlet. It's not really required. Again, I'm going to go to the add employee because add employee has that whole story. It is same. See, editing is same as adding. When adding, you add it to the new record. For when editing, you add everything to the existing record. That's simple as that. So here I have written a statement. If r count is equal to 1, record is saved, or otherwise there was an error. Last time I wrote that thing, if statement in the add employee. I wrote it. Okay. So Control C to copy it. I will come to the save employees and I'm going to just paste it here. Save it. Okay. Done. Let me try it. I'm going to go to here. I will refresh it. Sudha is not there. Now Rupa is there. Okay. Rupa, I'm going to edit Rupa and I'm going to change her name as Deepa. Save and edit. A record saved. You get that message, record saved. Let me go back and back. Okay, where is this back story? Okay, it is here only, right? Refresh it. Rupa is changed to the, can you see that? Okay, it is done. Now only a small thing, if you want, you can put the link there. The whole thing has been done. If you want, you just put one link saying that view, where is it gone? View employees. You put this link everywhere. For all of them, you can just put the link there. How do you put that link? You just copy that link and paste. As simple as that. So only last part I'm going to do it. So where is this story? Add index. In this index, you have this view employees. This link I'm going to paste it everywhere. So Control C, this link. Okay, view employees. I'm going to paste it in all of the servlet, regardless of not the view one. I'm going to paste it on the other one. Okay, I'm going to go here and go to the update employees, and at the bottom before the body, I'm going to just write out dot print ln and double quotes. I'm going to just paste it at the end. For this, at the end, I'm going to just paste it. In the same way, I'm going to do it for the same employee also. I'm going to just do it at the end. Before the end of the body, I'm going to just save it. Okay. Only difference that I'm going to do here is I think for view employee, I will go one line extra. For view employee, I can't add it. I can't come back to the this one. I have to use the backs here. So I will generate one more link here. I'll go to the index.html. I'm going to create one more link here. I think I created that link, href, and this is index.html, same page. And I'm doing it so that I don't make the mess. And I'm going to type home. Okay, this, how is it going to look like? This is, if you refresh it, you'll get that home. Home is coming back to this one. Okay, I think not the home. Add new record. We'll just make it as slightly better. Okay, just save it. Let me refresh it. Add new record. It will come back to this one, but I want that thing to come here. When somebody clicks on that add new record, they must come to this place so that it is complete in itself. So I'm going to just copy this one, Control X, copy from here, go to this view employees. At the bottom of the view employees, where I am closing this body and other things. When the body is getting closed, the HTML is getting closed. I'm going to say out dot print ln, and I'm going to just paste it here and put a semicolon. Done. So let's run it. For the final touch, let me start over from the beginning. So you start from here. Okay, add an employee. So I'm going to say Sureka. Okay, and the password is TTT. Okay. Email is Sureka at live.in. Okay, that's the password. She is from China. Excuse me. Okay, save it. Saved. Go home, and I'm going to click on view employees, and you notice that Sureka is there. Okay, if I click on add a new employee, it will take me here. Okay, if I go to the view employee, it's going to come here. If I click on edit, you see, but you can always view her. So I'm going to change the Sureka itself. Why not? I'm going to take Dhanraj. I'm going to bring him I'm going to transfer him to Nepal. So let me go to this Dhanraj, and I'm going to transfer him to Nepal, and I'm going to say save it. Okay, saved. Let me go to the view employees, and in the view employees, where is Dheeraj? Dhanraj. Dhanraj is transferred to Nepal, and that's all you need to do in this exercise. Thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next exercise. Thank you.